All right, and it sounds like we are ready, so take it away, Salvner, with Subnautica.
Okay, welcome, welcome. This is Subnautica. Hopefully a bit of a splash of water on your face to wake you up tonight, maybe. So we are playing on a slightly outdated patch, September 2018. We actually had a patch in the last 12 hours, and I'm not confident enough to run on one that new, so we're going to go back a little bit. This means that the patch before that actually removed a couple things that waste about a minute to a minute and a half, so that's going to help us out here as well. What Subnautica is basically an underwater Minecraft, huge focus on exploration, and the map is handcrafted. The spawn location, however, is going to be random every time, so that's going to affect how I do the early game. So time is going to start as soon as I skip this cutscene by holding escape. So time starts now. Okay. Fantastic. Okay, spawn location is, it's fine. Could be a lot better. We're on the side closest to the Aurora right now. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to find myself 2 limestone, which is always going to get me 1 copper, 1 titanium. Not necessarily in that order, but it guarantees 1 of each, which is fantastic for my purposes. So what we're going to do now is make ourselves a scanner with those resources. This is the first thing I need to get my engine going. Okay. You can leave when stuff's building, like so, and then I'm going to head over to a wreck. I'm not going to go to that one, because that one's garbage. I'm going to go to one over here. So swing on top of the water, because it is slightly faster, and I'm going to go to a wreck, because it's the most likely place that sea glide fragments can spawn. They can spawn anywhere in the safe shallows. It's just more likely they'll spawn at a wreck. Ideally, you just get 2 directly beneath your life pod, but the chances of that are incredibly low, so we're always just going to go straight to one of these wrecks. So I'm looking for a tiny little box. So now, the sea glide boxes are actually slightly different to any of these other boxes. They're going to be smaller, and they're going to have a very specific burn mark on the top that I'm going to be looking out for. We actually got none on these. That's fine. We're going to alter the route and go to another wreck. But before that, I'm going to be going through this coral tube to grab myself a lot of resources. It's going to be a little bit shaky because I don't have a med kit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the top and do a little bit of a different route, because this coral tube has a ton of crash fish in right now, and that's going to cause me a ton of damage. So you'll notice I'm breaking rocks a little bit faster than normal, and that's because if you bind the scroll wheel to one of your action keys, each scroll counts as multiple inputs of that action, which is pretty fantastic. That means I can do a lot of this slightly faster than normal. What I'm trying to get right now is enough copper and titanium to make my first set of items. Okay. And again, heading to this second wreck now. So what I've got is I want 5 titanium right now. I want 4 mushrooms. And that's going to lead me to make the next set, which is going to be a sea glide, which really speeds up our movement during this section. Again, swimming on top of the water as much as I can if I'm not looking for an item, and that's going to speed us up by 33% until I get the sea glide. Once I get the sea glide, it's actually slower, so we're going to stop doing that. And we have no sea glides here either. Fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to go to another wreck. There's about 5 we can visit in the safe shallows. So I'm going to head over to one over here, the next closest one, which is going to be near this set of rock protrusions. So learning the safe shallows is a big part of this run. Ideally, during world record grinds, we'd be resetting for a perfect spawn. One of the perfect spawns are just over there. There's a coral tube over there. There's 3 in the safe shallows. The one we spawned sort of next to is fine. We've got no sea glides here either. Fantastic. I'm going to go to the next wreck, which is over here. There's a guaranteed sea glide next to this wreck. Hopefully I don't have to use that. I'd like a little bit better luck. If this is the worst luck we get throughout the run, though, that's not too bad. We've got a reasonably high estimate to allow for nonsense like this. Subnautica has a ton of this. Okay, sea glide me up. We've got incredible, incredible. We've got none here either. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to try and grab the resources that I was going to do in the last coral tube in this one. So this is the area I said was the perfect spawn. So I'm going to try and avoid these doggos. They're going to try and pet me, which I'd rather they didn't. And grab 2 of the creepvine clusters and then head through this coral tube to get my first set of tier 1. Tier 1 is essentially limestone and quartz, and they're going to spawn in the same sort of areas, and that's why they're grouped like that. The tier 2 is sandstone, and tier 3 is shale. We're going to be looking for some sandstone later, but right now, all I need for this sea glide that we may or may not happen is going to be tier 1. OK, so scroll wheels are being a bit annoying right now, so I may have to go just back to clicking. A little bit annoying, but I can use the scroll wheel for pretty much everything else, so you'll notice that I'll be moving items between inventories reasonably quickly, and that's going to be because I'm using the scroll wheel to dump them in. OK. So we've got a full set of those first limestone. That's fantastic. I'll come back for quartz later. That's fine. OK, next wreck I'm going to head to is, I guess, the one I started at. Pretty miserable luck. We got, oh, there was just 2 randomly spawned. Fantastic. Just in the middle of the map. So these are a lot less likely to happen than spawning at wrecks, but they can be anywhere in the safe shallow area. Ideally, you wouldn't just look on the ground for these while you're swimming because the chance is so unlikely, but I guess we just lucked out there for once. And I'm going to head all the way back to my base. It's going to take a little while, so if you want to read out a donation here, go for it. Okay. So this, So this first section is designed so I'm swimming without the sea glide as little as possible. This is going to be the slowest form of movement we do throughout the game. Once I get the sea glide, I'm going to double that speed later. We'll get to that in a second. So we used to do a couple excursions. We'd do about 3 instead of the 2 I'm trying to do here to grab all the items. That's not including the first one where I just get two limestone. We'd used to go through a coral tube twice before making the sea glide, and so the optimizations in this run are trying to minimize the amount of time we are doing that. So you could argue that you could make flippers as well during this section, because flippers do increase your movement speed slightly. But by the time you can make them, you can make the sea glide, so there's no point. So I'm going to make the knife, the O2 tank, and the sea glide right now. I'm holding down the sprint key, which is absolutely fantastic because it means this menu doesn't disappear every time I craft something. It means I'm going to save a lot of time during these crafting sections, which is going to be pretty much half the game. Knife, O2 tank, and sea glide. That's going to be fantastic. Okay, so while that's crafting, I can just do some management here. What I've got is 3 and 2, as everyone knows. 3 plus 2 is 7. And that's gonna, and I need to get to 17 to 21 for this next section where I'm gonna be making a base. What's the time right now?
6 minutes.
Fantastic. So these two on the couch, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Masquirin.
I'm RocketGarden.
And they are here to tell me to save and also tell me what the time is. Some fantastic jobs. Also, they're looking very pretty. Thank you, couch. Okay. So this cave is pretty useful. Another area where I can get a lot of tier 1 and hopefully some tier 2. This is going to be the first tier 2 I'm picking up. I'm looking for 2 silver, 2 gold right now. That's going to help me make the next item, the habitat builder, as well as start my base. So a base is very important here because it's going to help me get the max speed that I'm looking for. So I'm going to head through this jungle. There's another cave in here that's going to give me some tier 2. Hopefully not going to get sniped by these crash fish. That would be fantastic. Yep, we'll just walk away from that. And a little bit more tier 2 would be nice right now. I've got a couple caves I'm going to go through. 2 silver, 1 gold, sure. And I'm going to try and avoid the doggos. If I see, so there's a specific metal I'm looking out for. It's like a long piece with a little friend. And every time I see one of those near a dog, I'm going to take it away from them because that's a bad piece of metal and I don't want them playing with it. We will, at some point, not pet the dog, but the dog will pet us because it makes it slightly faster. So the dog's going to want to eat me a little. And every time it does, we're going to let it because that means that it's going back to its job. So we work these dogs to the bone. We're going to try and make them generate a lot of teeth for us. So I'm looking for a bit of metal here. Metal's going to be found near the edge of forest most of the time. So the lore-wise is that dogs are going to clean up the forest and take the metal salvage to the edge of it. And that's ideally what we want to do here. Quartz-wise, we're very low. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a med kit and head through the next coral tube. What's the time again?
8:50.
Basically, what I'm trying to do right now is finish this section before 9:30. Ideally, we'd be finishing it about now, because that's going to mean I have enough power to do the give my base a reasonable start in this life. Okay, so I need 1, 2, and 3 of these. That's fine. I can grab the third one later. Make myself the habitat builder. So we're coming up to night. Night is at 9:30. Ideally, we finish this before then. But if we don't, it's not too bad. We're just going to be sitting in front of dogs for hopefully not too long. And I've got everything from there. Get out of here. Get out of here, you flare. It's optimal to take those flares from there, but I despise them with a passion, so I'm going to leave them. Okay, so I'm going to make a base with a hatch. Yeah, we've missed the daytime. That's fine. Having to go out of my way to grab these sea glide fragments was real rough for this section, but that's fine. I'm going to grab myself a bit more quartz so I can finish this base. And as I said, while it is late, that means I won't be getting any power. It's generally fine. I'm not going to be doing much crafting until post 14:30, and 14:30 is the next sunrise. Okay, fantastic. So that should be enough to finish this. So I make my solar panel. So I'm going to fill this base full of water because I am a creature of the sea. I do want to swim all the time. To do so, I'm going to take the hull integrity to -1. I'm going to make 2 glass compartments, 3 metal compartments, and 2 windows, is what I would say if I had enough quartz for this. The quartz have been a little bit dire. That's fine. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to make a few more metal compartments. Ideally, I'd have some, 3, 2, and 4. Just rebinding those is a little bit easier for me. So I don't have any power in here, that's fine, we can use the upstairs. So the upstairs is powered by solar and tidal, so it's going to gain a little bit during the night, which means I can finish this section. Okay, that'll do. I just need a ton of metal right now. Again, leaving the base while stuff is building, that's going to save me a couple seconds here and there. And we'll finish this. Okay, so that's going to start flooding. While it's flooding, I'm going to grab 4 mushrooms, 10 table coral. For some crafting I'm going to be doing later. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a lot of counting in this game. No higher than 21 though, so if you like blackjack, we're all good here. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Fantastic. And I should have enough quartz to make a locker as well. So I'm going to make the fabricator. And locker 1, locker 2. Fantastic. Okay. Have enough resources? Yes. So my late game locker here is going to have all the lead in. Early game locker here is going to have everything else. I'm just going to dump all that in there. I'm going to be making batteries later. That's fine. I've got a few. No, I've got perfect. Okay. I'm just going to stand in here and wait for this to flood.
While we're waiting, do we have time for a special donation?
Go for it.
I have a donation here from the Unknown Worlds Subnautica team for $5,000.
Wow.
From all of us at Unknown Worlds, thanks so much to GDQ and everyone that makes these events possible. And a huge thanks to Salvner for running Subnautica this year. We're all watching and cheering you on.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much, guys. Amazing. Okay, so I've just added a glitch. You'll notice I'm going a little bit faster than I was before. So if you're in a base when it floods, the game gets a little bit confused, thinks I'm both walking and swimming at the same time, so it's putting those two speeds together, which is amazing, because I get to go a lot faster than normal. So now I need some teeth. Every time a dog picks up one of these pieces of metal, there's a chance it drops a tooth. That chance is between 15 and 70%, or around there. And I need 4 as quickly as I can. Now, that math isn't great, so what I'm going to be doing is just watching these guys for a long time, and as I said, if any of them ever try and bite me, pet me, sorry, I'm going to let them. I'm also trying to pick up these pieces of metal. These pieces are bad pieces, and they don't have a chance to drop a tooth. So this guy wants to pet me, that's fine. Okay, so we're going to be just watching these guys for a while, so if you want to get some donations in, now will be great.
Sure thing. I have a $50 donation here from Biatz, who says, "Hey, Salv, you ever get tired of repeating yourself? I sure hope not. We're so proud of you. Have fun playing the game that is so perfect and has no glitches at all."
None.
Less than 3.
Thank you very much, Biatz.
Thank you, Biatz.
I have a $1,000 donation here from Program Max. who says,
Amazing. Thank you very much.
I love Subnautica. Thank you, Unknown Worlds, and thank you, Salvner, for running it. I have a $100 donation here from Steve that says, good luck, Salvner. Hope this donation will encourage Casper to bless the run.
Thank you very much. Come on, dogs. I believe in you. We can feed them. It might help.
New creature discovered.
Come here. We got 1 out of the 4. Keep going with the donations. We'll be here a little while.
All right, well, we do have an amazing amount of donations here mentioning Subnautica. Here's one from Maniac Purple Tentacle. What a name, for $50. I've lost count of how many times I've become fish food in Subnautica. Watching Salvner speedrun this game is very therapeutic. Good luck.
So I'm just doing some shopping while I'm waiting. I've got a couple things I need for later, and seeing as we have the time right now. I've got 3. We're almost there. Come on, dogs. Believe in yourself. You can have a bad dentist. 1 more, 1 more. Another donation is fine if you have it. Come on, dogs.
Sure thing. I have a donation from Journeyman Vader for $25. Have to donate for my 2018 Game of the Year. Let's hear it for Subnautica.
We unfortunately have a floor doggo. Bad dog. Get out. So when a dog sees a piece of metal it really likes, there we go. Fantastic. We did it. Good dogs. So when a dog sees a piece of metal it really, really likes, it's going to lock onto that piece of metal forever. Sometimes that piece of metal is out of bounds, and it just rubs itself on the floor for the rest of the game. So we'd rather not that happen. So if we do see any dogs do that, we just cut them and they head towards 000, which can be used to get them close to your base for a strat called Pet Stalker, which is very useful sometimes if you believe in the heart of the cards. So I'm going to just double check my wing mirrors here. So I've got a rupture in this section. That means I can deconstruct this. If I didn't have a rupture in this section, then when I deconstructed this, it would stop flooding. And that would be terrible for this run because I wouldn't be able to get Super Sea Glide again, which is the glitch where I said before, it thinks you're both in in 2 states. So I've got 3 and 0. It's a pretty rough count for copper and quartz. And I don't have the 2 glass I normally do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to a section which should have a ton of that and try and grab as much as I can. So 3 and 0, I need 8, and 11 minus 3 is 8. So I need 8 copper, 8 quartz, and as much silver and gold as I can find. So I actually just did another glitch. You'll notice I opened the locker in the life pod and it didn't open up. So what happens is if you open the locker in that life pod, there's a little animation, and then it opens up your PDA so you can access it. If you leave when that animation is playing, the game gets very confused, doesn't open it up, and next time you open up your PDA, no matter where you are, you can access that locker. So that means I can grab a ton more stuff right here. Okay, grab myself a lot of air. So I've got 4, 5 quartz. Give me some copper. So there's always 8 sandstone down here, which is fantastic. I see. Okay. There we go. I've got the rhythm of the scroll wheel now. So the scroll wheel speed you have to scroll actually varies depending on your FPS. So you actually generally want to be scrolling slower than normal, because the faster you go, it will only work at high FPS counts. So theoretically, at some FPS, you could use a free scroll mouse. But for the majority of the time, you're not going to be able to. It's actually going to make it worse, and you'll never pick up any items. So I'm scrolling a little bit slower than I would normally, but we've got the rhythm now. We can break these rocks a lot quicker. Okay, so I'm going to just grab a ton of these. I'm full, so I can do that glitch I just talked about. So that's 7 of those I've got, and I have a reasonable amount of silver and gold. So I'm going to be just grabbing a couple more. Going to do this whole section. this whole cave area here. So another cool thing about Super Sea Glide is it means I can rub myself up against these stingers and they just don't know I'm here, so they're not going to damage me, which is fantastic. The other things that don't know I'm around, there are the crash fish, so the ones that I was really worried about at the start of the game that were going to kill me. Now they're just going to stay in the little house and behave themselves, which is very useful for the run. Unfortunately, everything else still knows I'm around. They're still going to try and eat me. There's the 8th one of those. Just like these mesmers around here, going to try and distract me from my run. So I'm going to head on back. Ooh, mobile vehicle bay. OK, I need 3 of these before the end of this section. So basically, half of the run is going to be resource gathering. What I'm trying to do is leave the planet. So they crashed on this planet for some unknown reason, and we just desperately want to get off. We seem to be the only survivor around, but we can hear signals from other people. I'm going to try and spoil the story as little as possible, because if you're interested in this game, you should definitely go in somewhat blind, because as I said, it's a heavy focus on exploring, and the story is a part of that. A lot of people don't even know that Subnautica has a story because of this. Thanks, Doggo. I appreciate you. OK. So I'm going to start making as many items as I can. So you'll notice I just got air from that. Every time you go through a powered door, it's going to give you air, unless you go through a powered door into a flooded base. Thankfully, the outside world isn't a flooded base, it's a flooded planet, so it doesn't count. OK. So I'm going to make my... I've still got the hoverfish. What are you doing in there, buddy? You all right? He can stay there. He can be my mascot. I do actually need this glass. I need this glass for later. So I'm going to try and grab as many items as I can. I know I don't have the right amount of sandstone right now, so I'm going to be using that later. What I want to do, ideally, is make myself a ingot, but I have just not enough resources for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start deconstructing my base. All I needed was for my base to have a rupture in this one section, and so that's done now. So I don't need to have the rest of it. It was purely to get it to -1 hull integrity, so I'm just going to deconstruct the rest of this. And while I'm doing that, I was building that ingot, because it takes a little bit of time to create. OK. I don't need any of this. Just need my tiny little house that's filled with water. So that means I can start making the enamel glass from the dogs I got earlier. I still need to make one more glass at some point. Yeah. OK. So what's my count? My count is... I need a bit more of this, make myself a wiring kit. OK, so I'm going to dump all these in here, because I'm going to need to use them later. And these, and this, and all of these. Cool. OK, so I've got 6... I need 12, so that's another 6 silver for the count. I need 2. These take 1. OK, sure. So I got 4, so I need another 5. So I'm going to reactivate Super Sea Glide. If you're in a flooded base, you can just deconstruct and reconstruct the hatch. That's going to speed you up. And now I need a ton more silver and gold. So what I'm going to do, I'm also going to need a lot of metal. So I'm going to grab myself the ghost storage once more, as well as... Ah, yes, I did do this. Come here. Perfect. So we got 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. I actually need 1 more silver now, which is perfect. I can dump these. I don't want to make them into wiring kits. That would be very bad. I'm going to make myself some copper wire there. I can now grab these wiring kits and start making the rest of the items. Grab all but one of the coral, table coral samples to make these. And then I should be able to make the one of the advanced wiring kits with the 2 gold I have. So that means I need 2 more gold. Actually, only 1 more gold. That's fantastic. I'm going to grab the fiber mesh, which should be able to make me a rebreather. Awesome. And we're just constantly doing this crafting section here. Awesome. 1 more gold for this section. And the metal is still real rough. OK. So I can activate ghost storage another time. As I said, the crafting section is a huge part of this run. Basically, we're going to be making a submarine and a rocket at the end of this game. And what I'm trying to do is gather all the resources for that right now, so we can just do the storyline later. And there are a couple resources that you can't find in the safe shallows, so we're going to be finding them as we go around. The route is designed to pass these sort of resource nodes that we can gather. So I'm going to grab a lot of metal during this section, wanting another, at least one gold would be nice. I know some permanent spawns of sandstone, so that's the silver I needed. Some permanent spawns of sandstone. So there are two types of spawns in this game. There's areas where stuff can spawn, and then there's areas where stuff is guaranteed to spawn. So areas where stuff can spawn are going to be these cave systems with these the stingers, and those are going to be places where sandstone could spawn. So I'm going to be looking around for these to grab my sandstone, hopefully get the gold. There we go, fantastic. Excuse me, dog, I need your metal. Thank you.
Pet the dog.
Bad dogs. They're very bad dogs. They need to understand it's my metal. I'm going to grab myself a ton of metal. We need 107 right now. And each metal salvage is going to give me 4. I'm going to dump these in storage and continue grabbing more. I'm going to head back to my base. I still need a mobile vehicle base. I'm going to keep an eye out for that. Here, mobile vehicle bay. Perfect. Okay. That's all 3. Fantastic. So I can actually scan stuff you already know how to make to get 2 metals. So I'm going to do that in a couple places to guarantee this 10 and 7. Again, looking on the edge of forest for my metal salvage, that's one of the most likely places they're going to spawn. Dog, please. I know you're ill. You cannot do this. Okay, fantastic. So the best place to swim when I'm doing Super Sea Glide is 0, because you can actually breathe at that point. Even though it looks like your head isn't above the water, it's all good. And a very important point is as soon as I leave the water, I lose Super Sea Glide. So we're going to try and avoid that as much as possible, because this is our main way of traveling the map. And we're not going to be able to activate this once I leave this area, because I will no longer have a flooded base. Going to grab all this metal, do a ton of metal crafting right now. So I got the extra gold, so I can make the final advanced wiring kit. Not that wiring kit, though. That's fine. Give me that gold. Thank you. Advanced wiring kit. Perfect. And this should be all of these resources right now. Yes, fantastic, fantastic. So I got 7 and 1, 7 and 2, 7 and 2. Okay, sure. 7 and 2 can be done in one route, so I'm going to go to another place where I haven't got a lot of metal and hopefully get to 10 and 7. So I'm going to be counting in that fashion: 7 and 2, 7 and 6, 8 and 0. And we're approaching the end of this section, 8 and 4. What's the time right now?
27.
27, okay. So I'm going to need to 8 and 4 and 8. I'm going to need to move soon-ish. 9 and 2. Because I'd ideally do the Aurora in the daytime. It is possible at night. It's just a little bit more annoying. 9 and 6. 10 and 0. 10 and 4. 10 and 8. Fantastic. Okay. I'm going to have to dump 1 metal, but that's fine. Otherwise, it just makes it more confusing during the end of the game. And head on back. You can read another donation if you've got one. I need this, 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 this. And 3 of these and this. Again, using the power door to get air. And I'm going to need this, this, and this. And I will need that in a second. Make another ingot. Grab 1, grab this. That should be everything I need right now. Yep. Okay. Switch batteries, make myself a power cell. I'm going to go upstairs to grab a med kit that should have spawned by now. It spawns every 10 minutes, so I should be good for now. Yep, fantastic. Just as a little bit of safety for this next section. And with this power cell, I can make myself a mobile vehicle bay. So I'm going to reactivate Super Sea Glide, and we're going to finally head over to the Aurora. I'm going to learn a little bit about dying. So when you die, you get to keep all the items you had on you when you were last in a base. You also get to get one random item that you picked up after that fact. So I'm just going to pick up a metal salvage, and I'm going to get to keep that guaranteed. So we're going to do that. We're also going to go get what is essentially the final blueprint of the game. I say the final blueprint of the game because it's the blueprint that lets you actually finish the game. And that is inside here. So I'm just going to go through this maintenance hatch. It's definitely intended. Don't worry about it. And it does disappear when the Aurora explodes. As you would expect, a lot of stuff changes when a giant ship explodes. I'm going to crawl through these ventilation shafts and find myself the locker room. So this is the Aurora at night. It's very dark. Very, very dark. So there's the locker room. I'm going to take my med kit and line myself up with a pipe that's going to spawn in a second. Or not, that's fine. And we're going to go up about here. So I jump straight up through the floor, which gets me right to the captain's quarters, which is fantastic. 2679 is always the code. I'm so glad it's not randomly generated. And I'm going to grab the final blueprint of the game from this quarters. Then I'm going to die in this fire.
Save the game.
Thank you very much. And there's a safety save. So I'm going to grab this mobile vehicle bay, dump into the locker, and ooh, you're going to... Oh, there's a lot of metal in there. Hello, metal. What are you doing there? What are you doing there, buddy? I'm going to dump this. That's why I was low on metal. Out you go. Just going to do some spring cleaning. That's fine. I don't need too much space in there, so this should be good enough. And 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's fine. Cool. So I'm going to dump this in here, activate ghost storage again, and we'll be using that later. Activate Super Sea Glide. I seem to have moved my scanner to 5. That's fine, I guess. And head on through. Okay. So I'm going over to the Mountain Island now. I'm using some underwater landmarks to find my way, but if you're new to this game, you can look at the Aurora, look left, and see a cloud. That's a special static cloud. It actually glows when you look at it through the PDA, and that's going to lead you towards the mountain island. So we're going to use that to do our next section. So what I'm essentially doing is grabbing some fragments. I can't get anywhere near my base. Going to grab some resources I can't get anywhere near my base, and we're going to actually do the storyline. As I said, there is indeed a storyline to Subnautica. So going to do that now. Grab a fish for later. And we're heading over. I'm going to do a little bombing run here to grab my first item. This plant. Don't worry about it. And then head over this cliff. We've got a bit of time for a donation, if you've got one.
Sure thing. I have a $50 donation here from Tikara, who says, I was on the playtest team for Subnautica. I can see we missed a few bugs. But seriously, thank you so much for showcasing a game that had a lot of time and love put into it for such a wonderful cause. Keep up the amazing run, and say hi to my boy Sammy for me.
Fantastic. Okay, so I'm looking for fragments here. I'm looking for moonpool and engine fragments, so that's not something I want. This is. And I'm also looking for shale, because shale's going to give me lithium and gold. Those are my next two resources that I care about right now. I'm going to grab a lot of air here, because I've got a lot of stuff to do. Again, going at 0 to get it. And then we're going to head straight down. And this is where I actually start needing my light, desperately trying to turn off the map because I hate it with a passion. Going to do a fancy little thing right here, trick the game into thinking that the tablet animation is the fish release one, so I can take out my sea glide a little bit earlier, saves glorious 2 seconds. Okay, so I'm kind of count lithium gold now, 1, 0. Diamonds, ooh, magnesium, disgusting. 1, 1. Ooh, a little bit barren here. 2, 1. 3, 1. 1. Ooh, rough. Okay, 3, 2. Ideally, we'd get something like 8, 2 there. So 3, 2 is a little bit rough. We're going to go near other places where I can get those resources. But that's pretty awkward for this section. I may have to do a little bit more scouting later. I'm going to build a base, and it's probably irrelevant. Don't worry about it. I'm just trying to get resources out of my inventory. I'm going to do this fancy inventory management where I open up the base locker and just dump some stuff I don't need right now. And I do need that. You come back. Close and open again. Dump, 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 dump. And I might see them again later. Going to head on down to a wreck. If we were really, really lucky, we could have found 4 fragments on that section I went past earlier, and that would mean I don't need to go down to this wreck. It saves about 20 seconds. So I'm now at 4-1 after picking that up. I'm looking for another 2 of these Cyclops engine fragments, and another 1 moon pool. So there's a second Cyclops engine. Another moon pool would be fantastic. So every fragment has about 3 different variations of how they look like. 2 of the moon pool ones are really hard to spot, especially in that area because they end up looking like just pieces of scenery. I'm going to do another bombing run here. Lets me know where I'm going. And we're going to go past Mabel. Mabel's a terrifying fish, but she's a sweetie at heart. So I'm actually faster than everything in the game right now, so there's no chance she can come and bite me. But she can shout at me, and I'm a delicate soul. I might get real spooked and leave the water. And as we said before, leaving the water is really bad. It loses Super Sea Glide, and I desperately need that for this next section, otherwise I will drown. So I'm going to grab a lot of air here and head down. So going to some very specific sections of this map, heading down the mountain island to the Lost River, and grabbing a carpal plants on the way. 4-1. Interesting. Okay. And lights in 3, 2, 1. On. There you go. Okay. So I've got a couple things to do in this area. I'm avoiding these shoals of fish. They're essentially moving walls. I'm going to grab a plant in a second, the ghost weed here. And then I'm going to have a look through the brine pools, see if I can find some sulfur. It's going to do me a little bit of damage, but I actually want that, because if we get lucky, I know we haven't really done that for this run. If we get lucky in this section, it means I'm going to be able to do a slightly quicker trick. Ideally, there'll be some sulfur in here, but not today. Oh, there's 1. Okay, I took enough damage there. Going to head on down. We're going to say hi to Casper, the friendliest of the ghost leviathans. Hey, buddy. And if he says hi back, he blesses the run, please. Thanks, Casper. Love you too. Okay. Head on down. I'm going to avoid these guys because I have a health limit right now. So I'm looking for a nickel. Nickel's a tiny little thing that likes to play hide and seek, and I need 3 of it. You play this game for long enough, everything in this area starts looking like nickel. The floor, the fish, the bubbles the fish give off, the shale, the lava, it's all nickel. And nickel is a tiny little potato, so it's very hard to spot. Normally, no, and we're trying to go very, very fast because I've given myself, as I said, not only a health limit, but an oxygen limit as well. Okay, we actually found 3. Fantastic. We're going to head on down into the next section and hopefully avoid my buddy Kevin here. Kevin is very loud and loves clipping through walls. So sometimes I'm going into this place, his head is going to be there, and he's going to take a big old bite. Ideally, he's over there. Fantastic, and I don't have to worry about him. I'm looking for 4 crystals for sulfur right now. So I've got 1 and 2. 2 and 2. Don't worry about the oxygen, it's all good. 2 and 4. I can find crystals in a second. Okay. So I'm going to head on in here, grab myself some air, and then I'm going to make a base. This is the one scary part, because there is a buddy here, a red friend, and if he gives me a hug, I die. Thankfully, we managed to make the moon pool in time. That's a portable spawn point. I'm going to use that in a second. So what we're going to do, I'm in here for 2 reasons, in fact. I'm grabbing a cube, and I'm grabbing a blueprint. I'm going to do a slightly less hardcore parkour there to take a bit less damage. And we're going to grab the cube. Excuse me. You stay in that corner, buddy. I think I die if you tickle me. Ooh, no, it's fine. We're all good. All good. I've got loads of health. I've got 1. So spiders do 3. So a bit close. I'm going to grab those blueprints, die, and respawn back in my moon pool. I need 2 more crystals. So this is when I do another safety save. Okay. So I need 2 more crystals. I'm just going to have a little poke around here. If it was sulfur, I could do a slightly different backup strat, but because it's crystals, I have to look around here. Okay, fantastic. This means I can now deconstruct my moon pool and be on my way. Come with me, moon pool. No. No, I hear you. I hear you. You stay over there. Okay, I don't need this lead anymore. Get out of my... Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, so I'm going to do something fancy here. I'm going to go down. I'm going to go up. Get stuck on this pit of terrain. Up, down. Stop. No. Buddies, you can't just be here. You can't be here. Leave. Thank you. So those are the lava doggos. And they're a bit more annoying than normal ones. So I'm going to deploy this in just the right way that it just unfolds out of bounds and I can climb out. So this means I can skip a cutscene, and it also means I'm not going to have to create some tablets to get in this next section. I'm also just going to leave that mobile vehicle bay there, because you can actually find them in the wild, so I'm going to use that to my advantage later. Okay. And we're going to head on through. So Big Mama's going to talk to us in a second. You got time for one donation if you got one?
Yes, I have a $500 donation here from No Name User. It says, cheers, Salvner, for all your spectacular Subnautica speedruns. 100% next year?
Yeah, nice try, nice try. 100% of this is about 3 hours now. It's a bit rough. And I did an attempt of it way back, and it took about 7. So I'm not super excited about doing that again. So we didn't come in the right way, so Big Mama's just going to power pose for a bit. She's actually going to power pose with so much effort that she'll die later. That's a huge commitment from her. Good job. So Super Sea Glide has another thing where you can slightly clip through everything. So I can clip through, see this pedestal, and activate it without having to wait for Big Mama to go and blow the sand away for me. And this is going to take me right back to where some kind soul has dropped some resources. Some very, very useful resources, in fact, because they're going to let me make the item that she gives me the blueprint for. The cutscene that gives you that is actually still going on while I'm going through this portal. I'm going to grab these, and the seed, where are you? There you are, friendo.
The others tried in vain to take.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Okay, so I'm going to make my fabricator in here. The base has got power, lovely. So it looked like I could make everything there. That's just because I left something in a fabricator a little while back. If you leave something in a fabricator, the game gets very confused and thinks you can make everything. You can't, though. You still have to have resources for it. But it just looks like it. So I deconstruct that hatch for a reason I'll talk about later. I also, this scanner in slot 5 is really annoying me. I'm going to switch that in a second.
My young can leave this place, but first they must
Where are you, scanner? There you go. Also going to see if I can grab a fish. It's slower, but it looks cool, so I'm going to do that in a second. I'm going to hatch the babies. And there is an animation you can watch that's really cool, but they're actually just teleported outside immediately, so I'm going to go say hi. And we're going to go wash our hands, because we've been putting our hands in some... the water's not exactly hygienic, so there's thankfully some soap out here I can use. I'm also going to wash my Sea Glide, because it's a bit dirty as well. So we're going to do something a little bit fancy. There we go. Perfect. Oh, hey, buddy. How are you doing? So these guys are adorable, and they're gonna go on to and swim off to various places. You can find them later. This is fantastic. Okay, we did actually find a way to skip this cutscene. So if you get a diseased fish, the diseased fish will eat the cure, and you can leave the cutscene. Unfortunately, the diseased fish gets cured, but you don't, which is a little bit annoying. I'm going to do a quick battery swap right now. So another thing about dying, if you die and the game can't find the last base you're in, for example, if you deconstructed the hatch on it, you're going to respawn back at the life pod. That's currently over 1,000 meters away. Oh, and the walls here are just advice, so I can jump straight through them. Don't worry about it. So, as I said, I've been touching a lot of dirty things. I'm going to go get a tetanus shot. And that's going to mean that my rocket allows me to leave. It's all about health and safety, guys. It's all about health and safety. Okay. Thankfully, there's a medical center here. I swear. Don't look that up. We're trying to resist. So I'm trying to drown right now. That's why I took off my O2 tank and my rebreather. I'm trying to drown as quickly as I can. As I said, I want to do the death warp. But before I do that, I want to try and find some storyline items. And when I say storyline items, I'm referring to tablets and cubes. I'm going to need a tablet for a section in a second. So we're going to grab one here, thankfully. Also, there's still water here. Don't worry about it. And I'm going to recrypt this and leave this open. Because if I leave this open, when I respawn, there's going to be a section of black, but I can still access this inventory, so I can put this O2 tank on right now, even though the screen is completely black. There's my glorious 4 lithium. Good. I'm going to have to do some real work to make up those numbers, and dump all this in here. Grab this, and I've got 2 metal here, that's fine. So I've got 4. I need another 10 lithium, and gold-wise, I'd like 3. But 2 would do just as well. So I'm going to head out now to the next section, the sparse reef. Again, using some underwater landmarks to find my way, but if you're new to this, look at the aurora, look right, there's another cloud, and if you follow that, you can get in the sort of the right direction, which will lead you to the sparse cave I'm trying to get to. I'm lining myself up with this wreck, heading over, and hopefully find some salt on the ground. Yeah, salt. There's some. Okay, and up for air. Again, going to try and do as much as I can with one breath. Going up to the air is slow. So this buddy, he's the guardian of the cave I'm trying to get to. Going to just swim slightly past him, like so, and then directly down. And that's going to get me exactly where I need to be, this next cave, which should have some lithium for me. We've had bad luck everywhere else. Come on, game. Okay. So 1. I also need 2 rubies, 2 gel sacks. So that's 2 lithium, 1 ruby, 1 gel sack, 3 lithium. I also need gold, so we're going to be breaking some sandstone. I'm actually going to use the mouse left click instead of the scroll wheel because I'd rather not pick at the diamonds, but I seem to be failing at that, and that's fine. I've got a lot of lithium to pick up. There's the final ruby and the gel sack. Still need a ton of lithium, though. So we're going to be breaking the shale and trying to grab up the spares. So I've got 5 right now and 1 gold. That's fine, okay. So I'm no way going to be able to do this in one breath, unfortunately. I'm just going to pick up everything. It's 5 and 2 gold, 6 and 2 gold. So I still need another 4, 7, 2 gold. What's the time right now?
45.
45. Okay, next day cycle. Sure, that's fine. We've got about 7 minutes to the next day cycle. So that's 7 and 3. So that's enough gold, which is nice. 8 and 3. Ideally, you would get so much lithium from the other location, but 9 and 3 and 10 and 3. We got lithium. Congratulations. Thank you, game, for cooperating even slightly. Okay. I'm going to head on back to the main area of this. And line myself up with this wreck, which will get me to the next cave. 42. I'm just going to go for it now. It's going to make it a little bit more convenient. Okay. So my next goal is to grab these Cyclops fragments. I still need to make a Cyclops in this game. I only need to make it for one reason, and you're never going to see me drive it or anything like that. But it has a fabricator in it that you need to make one item to finish the rocket. A little bit unfortunate, but hey-ho. Okay, so I'm going to line myself up with this. And head on through to grab myself the next set of cubes, as long as I still have the tablet, which I should do. Okay, fantastic. Okay, I only need 3 cubes here because I already picked up 1 when I died earlier, and the other 3 can be for the next runner, that's fine. I'm going to go left and right, then left again to get myself to the wreck, which is going to have a lot of Cyclops fragments in. Ideally, I pick up another fish here to save another glorious 2 seconds with fish skip. I mean, that's the most important part of this run. Come on, fish. Behave. Come here, you. There we go. I'm going to do a little magic trick. So I'm going to make a compartment in just the right spot and pop. The wreck's gone. This means I can just see directly in it and grab all the fragments I need. I need 3 hull and 3 bridge. Okay, there's a second hull. You can occasionally pick up these earlier when I'm doing the Aurora section. I'm going to use the fish skip here to keep the scanner out while I'm doing this animation. Okay, so we should have hull soon. There's hull. I need 1 more bridge, I think. Or is this the 3rd bridge? Yeah, 1 more bridge. There's the bridge. Fantastic. Okay. So we got everything there. I need 3 more items, just some mushrooms from down here. Fantastic. I'm going to make myself a base to save my inventory. But I don't quite have enough metal. I do need to deconstruct. Not deconstruct, I do need to scan another hull. There was 1 back here, that's fine. There you go. Perfect. Make myself the hatch. And save my inventory. Leave, deconstruct the hatch so it doesn't count as a base anymore. Hey, buddy. How you doing? And I'm going to kill myself on these mushrooms. Fantastic. Okay, that's going to respawn me at the base for the final crafting section of the run. Thank you for the titanium, I guess. And down we go.
We have time for another donation?
Go for it, go for it.
I have a $100 donation here from Thunder Magnet, who says, I have loved watching all of AGDQ so far this week, and there was no way I was gonna miss the run of my favorite game, Subnautica. Let's beat cancer together. I do have a question for Salvner and those on the couch. Please reenact your first encounter with being eaten by a Reaper Leviathan.
Oh my God, why? I remember it, yeah. I was just moseying along into my sea moth and just suddenly, it's terrifying. I won't spoil it too much, but Mabel has a lovely way of saying hi. Okay, so gonna be making a lot more items here, trying to make all of my plasteel ingots, which I almost have done, and some ion batteries. I got a lot of gold because I was searching for a long time, and that means that this section is a little bit smoother than it could have been. I do need one more silver, though, which I seem to be out of. That's fine, I can go find one. There's a garbage geyser close by. I call it the garbage geyser because it's got 0 to 8 sandstone in. A fantastic ratio. 1, good, thanks. Thanks, buddy. Just the right amount. The iron battery, I think we're all good there. Yes, I've made the... Yeah, okay, that's fantastic. So I need 4 of these. I need to dump these because I don't need these anymore. I need to make some space in my inventory. I need to grab this, and this, and that should be fine. I can dump the plasteel as well. So I've gonna reactivate Super Sea Glide. And I've heard tale, rumor of a wild mobile vehicle bay, in fact, a couple breeding pairs. So I'm going to see if I can sneak up on one when it's alone and capture it for my nefarious purposes. So we're going to head just over here to a very specific section of the safe shallows where I have some scouting information. And there you go, there it is. Such a majestic creature. Perfect. So, of course, that isn't a wild mobile vehicle bay. As everyone knows, they were hunted to extinction about 2 to 3 years ago. That is, in fact, the same mobile vehicle bay I left in the lava zone. So Subnautica, like a lot of other open world games, only renders stuff that's close to you. There are a couple exceptions to this, and 2 of them are mobile vehicle bays in water. So if I go to this area and leave the mobile vehicle bay, once I leave the area, the land around the mobile vehicle bay is going to cease to exist, but the mobile vehicle bay can just float all the way up to the surface, and it just so happens to be in the perfect place to be collected later. And now we're just going to go on to the final crafting section. I'm, for some reason, missing a titanium ingot. Fantastic. Back we go. Okay, you can read another donation while I backtrack. Okay. So there is a way you can do ghost storage with this, where you do only have to do one outing. But generally, it's going to lose time because you've got a lot of animations to go through. There you are. Buddy, get in my inventory. Okay, we're going to go back to our good friend, the mobile vehicle bay. Make ourselves the rocket platform, then I can just grab all the other items and be on my way. Perfect. Bye, friendo.
Another donation?
Yeah, another donation if you got it.
Absolutely. I have $300 here from Vegemite Hero, who says, "G'day from Australia, GDQ. Absolutely loving this Subnautica run, one of my favorite games. Good luck to all the runners this year, and a huge shout out to and thank you to everyone behind the scenes. Without you, we wouldn't be here. Cheers."
Cheers. Okay, so I'm going to grab all of these. I don't need any of these anymore. I do need these 3 nickel, and I don't need the knife. I don't need the scanner. Grab this, and that should be everything. I'm going to grab just a fish. I'm going to grab my mascot for later. Reactivate Super Sea Glide and head on over. And we're going to do a glorious dolphin dive, hopefully. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Make the next section while that's making. Thank you very much. 10 out of 10 dive. We're going to make this Cyclops here. Now, you can nudge it so it lands a bit closer to this platform. However, in practice, I managed to get it stuck in the rocket, and it exploded. So I think we're going to avoid doing that.
Only experienced townspeople should attempt
I'm going to stand in this place because I'm going to need to go into Cyclops in a second. And this is the closest place I can get to. So this is one of the only sections where I can't actually use the scroll wheel. I have to be stood still and use the left click. So I can't do it when I'm doing the dolphin dive. I'm going to just use the ladder here and swim straight through. Don't worry about it. You can just use the ladder from outside. It's fine. So I made this for one reason only. That's to make the shield generator. There we go. I can run away from that. It'll give it to me no matter where I am. I'm going to head on out. The Cyclops can now explode. That's fine if it wants to. I'm never going to get in that again. And we're just going to make the final sections of this. So in hardcore, you would have a propulsion cannon right now. What a propulsion cannon is essentially a gravity gun. You can use that to fly on items. So if we were in hardcore, we could give it a go and fly all the way up there. It's actually one of the faster forms of transport. However, you can't swim down with it. So we're wanting to keep super sea glide, and we have to have a flooded base to make super sea glide, so there's very specific points where we're going to be doing that. And we could get another donation if you got one. We used to actually do that in the run. So way back, we could actually despawn the Aurora like we did with the other wrecks. That was patched out for obvious reasons. And the first answer we had to that was using the propulsion cannon to get Raymond. If you saw one of the rabbit rays going by, we call them Raymond. And you can fly all the way to the top of the rocket and get in one of the engines. It was very complicated and basically impossible at nighttime, but it did look real fancy. Unfortunately, Clove, one of the fantastic runners of this game, just found a hole at the bottom, so we just swim through that. So I'm going to activate all 3 of these, and then we're going to go upstairs and activate 2. Time is approaching. I'm only going to need to activate 2 of the things up here, but I'm going to activate the time capsule even though I don't need to. And we'll send a little message.
Primary computer systems active.
So we're activating the computer systems, and the Aurora just exploded. Fantastic. We don't need to worry about that, though. I'm sure it's fine for the planet. It's all good.
Systems online.
Okay.
All systems are go for liftoff.
So I'm going to put this lovely image. Fantastic. Select. I'm going to put just some random items. I'm sure the next person will love them. Greetings. No caps lock, please. Greetings from, I can't spell, but that's fine. Incredible. AGDQ2020/Germany. First time runner, long time watcher. Honk from Burb. There you go. Perfect. And that's time. Amazing, amazing. Okay. Huge shout outs to the Subnautica speedrunning community for making this run what it is. We have so many fantastic people looking for glitches, optimizing the runs, checking out the glitches categories, making tutorials in the Discord. If you're interested in this run at all, join the Subnautica speedrunning Discord. We have some fantastic stuff there. We also have some bingo leagues every 2 weeks. We'll have a new seed and people submit runs with those bingos. So that could be anything from making the rocket to putting a fish on top of the Cyclops, something like that. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much for my couch for telling me to save. Actually matters. If we got worse luck than we did, I know it is possible. We could have reloaded one of those saves to retry the RNG, which is, yeah, the RNG was a little bit rough in places, but we managed to get through it. What was the time in the end?
56:41.
Okay, that's not too bad. It's not too bad. Sub 1 is still pretty decent. Sub 1's still pretty decent, especially from the spawn we had. Huge shout out to the restreamers as well. Some of them were asking me questions about the run. Fantastic. Especially Leo, part of our community, doing the German restream right now. Thank you very much, guys. And yeah, this was Subnautica. Fantastic game. Please buy it, check it out. Awesome game to go in blind. The exploration is fantastic. And you get to discover that you're scared of open water, which is a little bonus.
3, 2, 1.
Wow, what amazing run from Salvner there. So powerful, especially considering the entire game was an underwater level. Too powerful. Too powerful. So coming up, we have the sun and the moon. Gyu is going to be running that for us. And thankfully, we have hit the incentive, so that run will be upgraded to all bosses. However, the game after that, 140, still needs a little help to hit the incentive to upgrade to all levels. We are at $1,986, but we need $5,000. So while the sun and the moon is happening, that run is slated for a 20-minute runtime. We're going to need to raise $3,000. Do you think we can do it, GDQ? I have some pretty amazing donations here for you folks. TKO from Tokyo sent in $25 and said, it's time to donate and throw in some bad ocean puns, so I think I'll wave around a few fishy jokes. Oh, whale, it's better than just floundering around doing nothing. Do you think everyone will dislike the depth of these comments? Not a chance. Didn't hear a single groan from the audience. I'm a little disappointed. And we're going to have a little break for a Twitch ad here, and after that, we will be right back. All right, I'm gonna squeeze in a few more Subnautica donations. We got so many. Kermie sent in $15 and said, bless every one of all these talented people who put in the time to make an event like these possible. Thank you, GDQ and PCF. By the way, remember to stay hydrated. Just remind yourself that even though it looks refreshing, this alien ocean isn't meant to drink. Yeah, don't drink ocean water, friends. I have a $25 donation here from Guiltless who says, so glad to see Subnautica at AGDQ. Just had to donate during one of my favorite games in recent memory that devolved very rapidly from, oh, this game is so pretty and relaxing to, I hate the ocean. It was still pretty and relaxing to watch, right? You didn't have to dodge those fish. Viewers. I have a $100 donation here from Hugan who says, been watching AGDQ since the beginning. Love the cause. Subnautica scared me like crazy when I first played it. The $50 donation here from Kirsty who says, I'm so happy to donate during Subnautica for 2 reasons. Subnautica was the first game I ever played, really, and I'm a nurse who lost their colleague to cancer and see its effects every day. Thank you for helping us fight the good fight. I have a $1,000 donation here from Christina's friend who says, today my friend and colleague lost her second fight with cancer. I know this donation won't bring her warm smile and positive energy back, but I hope it will help keep more smiles going like she would want. Thanks, Christina. You'll be missed. Thank you, Christina's friend, for your generosity. I have a $50 donation here from Lord Apocalypse that just says, less than 3. And I have a $10 donation here from Quivico who said, to another great GDQ event. Big thanks to the runners, commentators, organizers, and staff. And with that, I believe we are ready to start.